Hi everybody, Bloomsday is fast approaching and I'm delighted to announce here the most significant day in Ireland's literary calendar. It is the day when the great work of the 20th century literature, James Joyce Ulysses, is celebrated. The reason why Bloomsday has been annually celebrated in June is because the whole novel takes place on June 16, 1904 in Dublin. Why James Joyce chose this particular day is less certain, but according to researchers, it was when Joyce and his wife, Nora Barnacle, had their first encounter, her first date. The festivities of Bloomsday happen not only in the city of Dublin, but also in the suburbs. It includes lots of live performances, readings from his books, street parties, breakfast at Covinston's, a seafood restaurant, walking tours to pub crawls around the city, among other things. Dressing up in an Edwardian garb is absolutely encouraged if you want to get into the Bloomsday spirit. Eating things like grilled mutton kidneys for breakfast is part of the celebration. Also, wearing boaters and bowler hats and full petticoats and parasols provides an opportunity for cultural validation. In short, the idea is to recreate parts of the novel and tell the journey of the protagonist, Leopold Bloom, a middle-aged Irish Jew, southwards through the center of Dublin. Leopold Bloom, as I have already said, is then the protagonist of Joyce's classical work, which was constructed as a modern parallel to Homer's classic Greek, the Odyssey. Bloomsday's legendary walk around Dublin came to break the mold of the novel by introducing a new style of narration into 20th century writing. Following Leopold Bloom across the streets, the roads, the pathways of Dublin, we realized how he was preoccupied with his own thoughts, projecting his reflections on all he saw around him. There is a great number of encounters along his stroll through the city of Dublin street. Thus, while he pays a big tribute to the city, he also criticizes the society and the church all the time. For over 100 years, Joyce's fans around the world chose to celebrate the date in their own way according to their culture. Bloomsday celebrations have been running in our university, the Federal University of Bahia, for almost 2 decades, through a series of poetry and prose readings, film screenings, translations, debates, posters, among other activities. This year, however, in Bahia, we're sticking to live talks due to coronavirus. instead of a face-to-face encounter, we will have a virtual discussion forum on YouTube on June the 15th and June the 16th at 3 o'clock, when we hope to count on the presence of those who are interested in Irish literature, particularly in James Joyce. From today up to the 15th, we'll have several posters about James Joyce's work, curiosities about Ireland on YouTube, and an interview with an Irish musician, James Spalding, on Instagram on Friday, next Friday. I'd like to say a special word of thanks to the contributors who worked closely to me in a great spirit of communal togetherness to organize a program for what we know will be a truly memorable day for our project of Irish studies in Bahia. Every year, we pay tribute to Joyce and his work because he gave us textual lens that opened the eyes to the world, life, and love. His mystified complexity is merely an idiosyncratic approach to everydayness we tend to misperceive and or ignore. To finish, I will say that the arts are not a way to make a living. They are a very human way to make life more bearable. Welcome to our Bloomsday 2020.